Greetings, Dr. Janice. My name is Muhammad Fazadin Muhammad Salimi, and this is my group's presentation for our toolkit, listening and speaking in the ESL classroom. So first, for our first activity, it's called the Missing Lunchbox, a neighborhood mystery, an audio clip-based activity for intermediate students. So for the task overview, the target learners are obviously Form 3, Intermediate Level B2. The theme is People and Culture. The focus areas are listening for gist or specific information. The format is per activity and the time allocation is 20 minutes. So this will be after listening to the clip, this is the worksheet that the students will be presented to and answer. So for the rationale for this worksheet, it helps students to practice identifying main ideas and understand relating items to the topic. Students are able to build schema and practice their listening skills. And afterwards, they would together see the answers, and is the answer key. Students are the assessment is students are able to answer at least 4 out of 8 questions correctly.
Alright, hi, I'm Amina Jua, and now let's hop onto my part, which is listening assessment toolkit titled Crime Investigation Case File Forever. This listening assessment is designed to assess three listening skills. First is listening for specific information. Learners need to identify precise details from the audio, such as physical descriptions, locations, and time clues. For example, they need to catch details like black hair, black shoes, and around migratory time. Second is listening comprehension and interpretation. Students must understand the meaning of the witness statement and suspect interrogation, not just individual words. Third is critical thinking and inference. Learners analyze clues and determine which suspect is most likely to involve in the crime. Well, now let me explain how the task works. This activity uses an audio recording in the form of a witness statement and suspect interrogation, making the assessment interactive and meaningful. Students listen carefully and answer 5 questions. Questions 1 to 3 focus on factual details where students identify information directly from the audio. Questions 4 and 5 require interpretation and decision making, where learners connect clues and solve the case logically. And this assessment is supported by listening theories. Well, according to bottom up processing theory, learners construct meaning by decoding sounds, words, and phrases step by step. In this task, students use bottom up processing when identifying exact clues such as black hair or Margaret time. Meanwhile, top down processing theory, introduced by Richard Smith and other language researchers, explains that learners use prior knowledge, context, and logical reasoning to interpret meaning. In this activity, students apply top-down processing when predicting, analyzing evidence, and deciding the most likely suspect. This toolkit is also supported by Anderson's cognitive theory of listening, which states that listening involves perception, parse, and utilization. Students first hear the audio, then process the information, and finally use it to answer the questions. And lastly, this assessment is suitable for Form 3 intermediate learners because it matches their V2 proficiency level. These learners can understand spoken text with familiar vocabulary and clear details. The crime investigation team also makes learning engaging and motivating, while encouraging critical thinking and active participation in the classroom. Well, overall, this tool could effectively assess listening skills while making learning enjoyable and meaningful.
I'll be presenting Speaking Assessment Task 1 Roleplay Toolkit. This task is called At the Restaurant and is designed for Form 3 students at a B2 level. It's a paired activity with 5 minutes of preparation and 3-minute performance. Okay, so for the task description, students work in pairs to roleplay a situation in a restaurant where a customer experiences several issues with the service. They must discuss the problem, negotiate solutions, and reach an agreement. The most important rule here is no scripts allowed. So this is a roleplay card for student A. Student A plays the dissatisfied customer, for example, dealing with a wrong or delayed order. Their job is to complain politely but firmly and negotiate a solution using the useful expressions provided in the card. The second card we have here is for student B. Student B will be the restaurant manager. Their job is to practice service recovery by listening actively, apologizing professionally, and offering an immediate solution to fix the customer's problem. During the task, teachers use an observation checklist to monitor language flow and turn taking. Afterward, students complete a self-reflection to evaluate their own confidence and areas for improvement. Grading is based on the CEFR-B2 rubric, focusing on four main criteria: fluency, pronunciation, interaction, and vocabulary. When it comes to why it is suitable for the learners, it is a real-world application. A restaurant complaint forces students to use transactional English. The second one is it pushes spontaneous fluency. Students cannot just memorize lines, they have to listen to their partner and react on the spot. The last one is clear structure with scaffolded support. While it demands spontaneity, it isn't overwhelming, giving them specific roles and a bank of useful expressions give them a solid safety net so they don't freeze up.
And now we are going to speaking assessment 2, which called the food fast page. This task is designed for Form 3 Malaysian secondary school students at a CEFR B2 intermediate level. The assessment format is a group of 4 students with 5 minutes allocation for preparation and also 5 minutes for the actual page. The scenario is highly engaging. The school is organizing a food fest. Each group is assigned a famous national dish to represent. Their mission is to deliver the absolute best page to convince their classmates to love and buy their dish. It brings the real-world excitement right into the classroom. The assessment follows a clear 3-step process. The first one is 5 minutes group discussion, where students discuss 5 guided questions given by the teacher to build their presentation. The second step is the food pitch itself, where all 4 members must take turns speaking while the teachers assess them. The third step is the dynamic Q&A session. Peer students must ask at least 2 questions and presenters can earn extra marks by answering those questions. To grade their performance, we use a structured food fast pitch rubric that evaluates 5 scores areas: pronunciation, vocabulary, content, fluency, and also interaction. To achieve an excellent score, students must use varied food-related vocabulary, speak with clear and precise language, and also confidently address all the guided and verbal questions. Finally, why is this task so suitable for the B2 level? First, it moves beyond simple facts, requiring students to describe, explain, persuade, and justify opinions. Second, it balances prepared speaking with spontaneous interaction during the Q&A session. And third, it uses communicative language teaching CLT by connecting language directly to culture and a familiar fun context. That's all from us. Thank you.